Rode microphones are the official microphones of BeTerrific. Find out more at rodemic.com.
Welcome to the Michael Artsis Show. I'm Michael Artsis. Thanks so much for joining us. You are the Terrifics. You make BeTerrific special. I can't thank you enough for watching, for tuning in, for giving us your time. We've got so much great content to bring you, so much going on here in the next few weeks, and I'm just excited about it. There are plenty of ways to get in touch with us. First of all, reach us on social media at BeTerrific TV across all social media platforms. You're really starting to pay attention to our Facebook page, and I can't thank you enough for that, and that is facebook.com/BeTerrificTV. And of course, we archive all our content to our YouTube page, youtube.com/BeTerrificTV as well. If you want to chat with us in real time, the best way to do it is join our Slack chat, and that is BeTerrific.com/Slack. Give us your name and your email, and we'll send you an invitation. Don't forget, you can also drop us a line. We love your feedback. Keep the positive feedback coming, and that the great stories that you have, the terrific stories. We want to tell them on air, so please share them with us. And that is, of course, connect@BeTerrific.com. I've got a great guest today. I mean, he's a good friend. He's going to be in the area next week. We're going to shoot some stuff with him. He went through the NFL. He had a great career in the NFL, a lot of fun, got some hardware in the fashion of rings I'm talking about. And then while he was in the NFL, he always had a great charity, the Jarvis Foundation, and gave back. And in addition to that, he always had many jobs. Why? Wasn't the NFL a job? Well, he was always looking post-career. And so we're going to talk to Jarvis Green about football, the Patriots, life, and everything in general. Jarvis, thank you so much. From Louisiana, you're joining us over Skype. I can't thank you enough for joining us. I'm excited.
Thank you, Michael. How you doing up there in New Jersey?
We're doing great. Great day here. It's beautiful, like it is in Louisiana. Too hot, not quite as hot as it is there.
Yes, it's very hot. I think yesterday they registered 106 degrees with the heat index. And working hard down here, though. I'm at my construction job today, so we're having a little fun. We got a project on LSU campus, so that's really great for me.
You're doing a lot with LSU. You always have. I mean, you are always giving back to LSU. You are always working hard to give back to the athletes that came behind you. You played there. And you also work on giving back to other kids in the community.
Yes, sir. Graduated back in 2002, and LSU has always been home to me. Grew up in a little town called Donaldsonville and lived in Baton Rouge, and just to come back, but also have the opportunity to do some construction work out here and on the campus, but also to be with the team and just to see the guys in the locker room and see the coaches. So I'm around a lot. I'm around a lot more now than I was in the past.
So you actually are helping to you've helped to rebuild the city. You have a construction company, one of your many businesses, but you also are doing a project for LSU and as far as with their stadium and stuff.
No, it's not the stadium. It's the engineering building. It used to be called SEBA. I pretty much had my last 2 years there, construction management, engineering, and it's turned into the new name would be the Patrick Taylor Building. But we're working with the Lemoyne Company. They're a huge contractor down here, a local contractor, been around for 40 plus years. Big project. The project itself is about $90 million, but for us, we have a lot of the work. The company I work for is Acousti Engineering of Florida. But we have an office here in Louisiana, in New Orleans, in the heart of New Orleans. And this project for us is a 2-year project. But I'm business development, and I'm the assistant PM. So this was a job that I went after. It took us, some time, just to meet and greet to get the Lemoyne Company just to trust us enough that we could come out here and build and work on LSU campus.
Well, it sounds like a phenomenal project, and I love that you're giving back to the area and the community, providing jobs. I know that you do business development for Acousti and for many other companies. You're so involved. It's really amazing, and I've watched you throughout your career. I really got a chance to do that, and I really appreciate what you do and loved it.
Thank you, Michael.
But it's so true. I mean, a lot of guys just want to have fun. You had fun. There's no doubt about that.
I'm still having fun.
You have to. Everything in life has to be fun. But you really focused on, hey, I've seen what can happen if I play in the NFL, and if all I do is concentrate on fun. I've seen what can happen. I don't want that to happen to me. And you were so focused. I mean, during the season, you were working on projects and stuff. Let's turn our attention to football as camp gets ready to open for a lot of these teams right now, and then we can get back to the business, because I also want to talk about Oceans 97, which is your shrimping company, which I think is amazing, and I'm excited to not only talk about it today, but also do something when you're in town in a couple weeks with you on it. But let's turn our attention for a minute to football. What do you think about this time of year? The guys got to get ready. They're going to camp. They've had some fun in the offseason, but now all their focus has to be on football.
Well, we know this time of the year, training camp is approaching, so it's a lot of stressful minds. You know, you have a few sleepless nights, depending on where you're at, I guess, or in your NFL football career. And I know right now, what is it? It's July 29th. So I can remember my training camp, you know, around the 15th, 16th, 21st, something like that. You get in the camp, you checking in, you see all the guys, you see some new guys, you got your 88 guys getting there to get the roster going, and the season starts. So you have 6 weeks with these guys, you know, blood, sweat, tears, trying to make the team, trying to earn some respect, you know, from your teammates as well as the coaches. But now for me, I'm on the outside looking in, so I'm watching and seeing what's going on, and you see all the different things that happened, I guess, in the past few weeks, like the fireworks incident with your guy, the Giants, and also got some other things in the media that's been going on. So it's been a very hot summer.
Was that crazy to you, the thing with JPP? I mean, obviously everybody has to feel very bad for him. Terrible accident. But do you just say, what are you doing? Like, you shouldn't be playing with fireworks. You're making all this money. Because my feeling is always, I'm conservative, right? I always feel like,
I agree.
Look, don't ride a motorcycle. You have a 10-year span, maybe 10 to 15 years tops. I mean, most guys play 3.5 years. That's the average, right? Anybody who gets to 6, that's doing great. So maybe you could stretch to 10, maybe 15. A guy like Michael Strahan plays 17 seasons or something like that, right?
Right.
So maybe you could stretch. You've got a 10, maybe a 6 to 15-year window that you can play in the NFL. So for 6 years, you don't get on a motorcycle, you don't do anything crazy with fireworks. I mean, that's my mind. Is that reality? Do you think that, like, this was a nutty situation? I mean, look, I wish him the best. I hope he's okay. You don't want to see anything bad happen. And I hope he comes back and has an amazing career and beats all the odds. But what a great story that would be. But beyond that, do you think, like, come on? You just want to say, come on, dude.
Mike, look, man, when I saw that crap, sorry, JP, we was laughing about it and said, look, he signed the franchise tag, right?
Yeah, should have.
Well, he should have, but I know it was worth $14 million. I would have been somewhere in a high rise, popping some champagne bottles, watching somebody pop some fireworks for me. Not myself trying to see how long I could hold a firecracker or whatever, a missile, to see how long I could hold it in my hand before it explodes. Bad decision.
Yeah.
Bad decision.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. And hopefully there are a lot of kids who wind up learning from this, and a lot of people who learn. Hopefully it gets turned into a positive, but I agree.
Yes.
Now, camp is shorter. Do you think that, and also the off-season training is shorter, do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I really don't know. I could tell you, I got out of the league at the wrong time. I remember going back up the following year and talking to I remember talking to Jim Wills and Joe Van Allen. They're the Patriots trainers, and they talked about, oh man, J-Dog, it's so easy, man. It's like a vacation. You're watching these guys practice, and I mean, you're wearing butterflies and half-padded practices. I probably still would have got another 3-4 years out of the league if I was playing that type of tempo in training camp. The only thing about it is, to me, I think you go into the 4th or 5th game, I think that's when everybody is really broken in. Yeah. So you still see injuries. People still getting hurt. I mean, it's football, contact sport, and from the short training camp and less contact, it still carries over that they need the contact.
I agree. I mean, I agree. It's a catch-22. You got it on both sides. Now, what about Bill Belichick? I mean, a great coach, obviously. I know you love playing for him. You also played for the Broncos. And my question, though, with Belichick is, did you talked about you have a couple sleepless nights going into camp. Did you ever feel safe? Were you ever a guy who, I mean, you were a tremendous player. You were an integral part of that team. You and Richard Seymour shut it down and got the team to multiple Super Bowls. And so was there ever a time where you were like, you know what? I think I'm good. I don't have to have a sleepless night, or did you always have sleepless nights?
My first 2 years, I always had sleepless nights. I get back to work on Monday after the game, getting chewed out, cussed out. I'm nothing, not going to make it, making a lot of mental errors. Because I was a guy my first 2 years, I made a lot of mental errors on the field, but I played hard. And I know, to me, I think it was more of a conditioning to get through mentally. Through everything, because I played under Coach Nick Saban, so I've been through a lot. I think in the collegiate level, but to go to New England and play for Coach Bill Belichick, but I gotta say that the day that my agent Albert Elias, rest his soul, when he called me around 4:30 in the morning, said, J-Dog, the Patriots want to give you an extension. I hung up on him because I didn't believe him. So I think after that happened, I felt better, but I still know I had to go in and work every day because Coach Belichick always said, man, everybody's job is you got to test for your job every day. You have to fight.
Yeah, I can't think of another team where you really would feel that in every position as much as you do with the Patriots. Everybody seems expendable, and I think Bill does a phenomenal job as a great coach.
He does.
I know you love playing for him. What do you make of this whole situation now? First of all, I'm curious what you think. I don't want to say anything. I'll tell you my opinion afterwards.
You talking about the hashtag deflate-gate?
Yeah, I'm talking about hashtag deflate-gate. I'm talking about not only the first but the second ruling from the NFL. This one comes down from Goodell, and no change, and more circumstantial evidence, I guess.
I guess, but they could have said that in the beginning. If they wanted to make it a point of issue, the deflate-gate. Still, I don't understand. I remember I was talking to some reporter a few weeks ago. We had a football camp down here, and they asked about it, and I said, well, what's the guy name that used to play for Houston? Dave Kringler, the quarterback. He said he deflated his balls, and every other quarterback that used to say they deflated their balls when they needed to adjust. So really, I don't know what's the problem. The guys still got to catch the ball. They got to still run the ball. They still got to kick the ball. And, of course, he has to throw the ball. I can see if it was a close game or whatever, but, I thought guys were playing with – everybody was sharing the balls, Kind of get tired of keep saying balls and balls and balls. But sharing the balls, playing with the balls, deflating the balls. But I don't know. They won the Super Bowl. They still won the game. It took them how many games to get to this point, but they played well.
Yeah. You've played in several Super Bowls.
Yeah.
You won 2, I believe, and lost 1. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
And so do you think the balls had anything to do with the game? You played against a great Giants team.
No.
No. Yeah.
No, what did they say on the ball? 11 to 13 PSIs? 11 to 13?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, they're supposed to be 12 to 13 and a half, let's say, something like that. I don't remember the exact thing. I got into it back when it was happening, because here's what I think. I think that the biggest issue here is the fact that the NFL should control this. The NFL should get rid of letting the players and the teams deal with the balls. Number one, I think cheating is unacceptable. So if he did cheat and you can prove he cheated, then that's unacceptable. Number two, if he didn't cheat, then he has to be exonerated. If he cheated and you can't prove it, then he didn't cheat because you have no evidence. That's my feeling. And I feel like the NFL has to take a big stand here and has to realize that they've done something wrong and say, okay, we're going to change the way this is. So I'll talk. Did Jarvis just join us again? I think we had some technical difficulties. We lost Jarvis. Are you there?
Yeah.
All right, let me reiterate what I was saying real quick while you were gone, because I was going to run to commercial and come back with you. But now you're here, so here's the thing. I think, first of all, cheating is unacceptable. If he cheated, that's not okay. And if you can prove it, then you can punish him. Number one. Number two, if he cheated and you can't prove it, you can't do anything. Number three, if he didn't cheat, you have to exonerate him. Number four, I think we lost Jarvis again. Is that true, Greg? Yep. Okay, so I think we've got a bad connection there. I'll tell you what, we're going to take a break and we're going to try and figure this out. We'll be back with a whole lot more. We'll explain this. I'll lay it out. We'll see what Jarvis has to say about what I have to say when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
Rode microphones are the official microphones of BeTerrific. Find out more at rodemic.com.
All right, so we have a lot to talk about. We'll have Jarvis Green back on, I think, in a few minutes here. He's having some technical difficulties on his end, so when he's able to, we'll get him back on. He's got this shrimping business, and he wants us to go down to Louisiana and shoot some stuff with them shrimping, and we're going to follow him a little bit in New York when he's in town in a couple weeks, I think. So that'll be fun, and we'll get the rest of his take on deflate-gate and the rest of the NFL as well. So that'll be cool. This is the Michael Artsis Show. You're the Terrifics. This is BeTerrific. Thank you so much for watching. We're also on Periscope. What's up? And we finally have audio on Periscope. You know why? Because we forgot to turn the audio on. How good is that, Greg? Like, the people who are going to find this tomorrow on Periscope for the next 24 hours or whatever are going to be like, why does this have half audio? We got to get the Periscope together. Well, we've got it together. It's running.
It's not even just about the audio. I mean, they were watching ceiling for a long time, too.
But it's weird because you can't really see what you're shooting until you start, which is a problem.
Right.
Like, I can't line the camera. So I thought we were looking at the right camera.
Yeah, well, hilariously enough, even after we, even after I switched, like flipped the camera,
Yeah.
it was like facing the floor.
Yeah. How's it look now? It's good?
It's
a good
great.
shot.
It's
Yeah.
great. You're looking good.
Thank you. We're on Periscope, which we're excited about. I hope Janny's excited about that, too. Janny, thank you very much for watching and joining our IRC chat. I got to get back in there. You know what? I'm going to do it now. I'm going to say hello to you, Janny. But I really want you to come over to our Slack chat. Let's see if I can even get in here. What do you think? Let's see. Oh, here we go. I think I'm in. There's Janny. Hi, Janny. Thank you for being in our Slack, our IRC. I'd love to get you into our Slack chat or any other kind of chat. Maybe we just need to be emailing with you. Connect@BeTerrific.com. Of course, if you want to join the Slack chat, join the conversation 24 hours a day. That is BeTerrific.com/Slack. I don't know if you know this, Greg. We've been working on some big guests. We have to get the guy from the Aviation Hall of Fame. We've got a lot of things going on. We're going to be doing the DeLorean soon. A lot of stuff going on. I texted with Tracy Strawberry today. I think I'm going to get Tracy and Daryl on. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be in New York anytime soon, so we'll have to have them on Skype as well. But that'll be pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, man.
Daryl and Tracy Strawberry, my good friends. I love those guys. They're great people, and I think it'll be fun to have them on. They were, you know, I sent them some pictures of Jack from last night. They were like, oh my God, he's so big. They were so excited, so that was cool. It's nice when you, when you're like, they're like, oh, how's Jack doing? And you're like sending them pictures, and they get excited, you know?
Yeah.
I forgot to ask how I had just asked how their kids were in general. I didn't ask like how all of them were. I should have asked how all of them were. Like I know Jade and Jewel and Diamond, and I know now I sound like Antonio Cromartie, right? And I know DJ, and I know Jordan, and Jordan should be like in college basketball right now, or a senior. I think he should be going into a freshman year of college now, playing basketball.
Wow.
And then there's, of course, then there's Omar, who's Tracy's son, and I don't know her. I can't remember her other son's names, but I only met them once. But Omar's cool, dude. And so they've got a lot of kids together. I think 9. I think they can field a baseball team just by themselves. It's pretty cool. Our site's down, by the way. GoDaddy went down. Somebody took I believe it's hackers. They haven't said it, but I think when GoDaddy goes down, it's hackers. That's what I feel like. Yeah. So GoDaddy went down, so our site is down. Let me see if it's still down. I haven't checked since we went on air. Yeah,
I don't know. I was barraged with text messages like, hey, man, is the site down? You guys streaming? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? We have to figure out, like, you can't be like the 1980s where we just get a call list and we're like, all right, so Greg, you call Janny, you call Digital Phil, you call, you know, the phone chain?
I don't know the phone.
You never heard of that?
That's a little bit before my time.
Wow.
I think.
So what they used to do is is at companies and stuff, or at you would and for schools for kids, if there was something, you would have a phone chain, right? And so if something happened, you'd have a phone chain. So, you know, you'd go through the alphabet. So the first person in the alphabet would get the first call from the school. Then that person would have to tell the next person, the next person, the next person. The problem is, what happens if you spend 20 minutes on the phone with one person because they're like your friend or something? You know, then you screw up the whole chain. So it's got to be like literally, hey, no school today, bye. Hey, no school today, bye. And you'd know who to call. You'd have one number to call. You just all the way down the chain. Then they made automated systems and stuff like that, and then TV got involved.
Yeah, I was about to say, that doesn't sound like too much
What
fun.
I'm saying is we have to have a contingency plan so that we can get to our viewers if our site goes down, so that they know where to watch. Because there are alternative ways to watch, and we do syndicate far and wide, but a lot of people come to BeTerrific.com to watch, which is awesome. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
But you can't go to BeTerrific.com to watch if BeTerrific.com is down. Yeah,
Right.
I'm upset about this. We have sponsors that might be upset. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit upsetting because...
You know what? You came in late today, too, by the way. You missed all the fun. You see how dirty I made the Rev? Do you see that?
What were you doing with that?
Oh, yeah. I took it into the warehouse with a guy named TJ because the ramp came last night. Oh. Yeah. And I showed him how the ramp worked and the cars. And, well, I was interviewing him for a potential show here. Like, he might host a show, maybe. We'll see what happens. We're actually going to screen test him for some of you guys, some of the Terrifics. So we'll have a secret time next week where we'll screen test him, and we'll let you know in our Slack chat. And so the cool thing is that he wanted to see how this worked, so we took him down into the studio, you know, I mean the warehouse rather. And I showed him, and it's dirty down there. And I got them. I mean, I banged them hard. I flipped one over, got it stuck underneath stuff, and we drove it far. You can get far away from them, you know.
Oh, the range is that good?
Oh, it's good. It went all the way to the end of the warehouse. You know where the stairs are in the warehouse?
Yeah.
And then you go down the stairs, and you're standing at the bottom.
Yep.
Okay, and then you look to the end of the warehouse where the loading dock is.
Yep.
That's about, I don't know, probably 200 feet, right? 300 feet?
Yeah, I'd say like that's like 300 feet.
It's 300 feet. That's how far he got it. Like right at the end, it lost connection.
Wow.
And he had to walk that whole distance. Because at that point, he was playing with it. So he had to walk all that way to connect back up. Yeah, it was crazy. It was fun, though. They're really awesome, man. They go far. They go fast. Everybody's blown away by them. We haven't shown them to the guys at Skyline who we sublet space from. They were just like, what's that? How do I get that? I want to play. Yeah, pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So then, I don't know. We might not have, Jarvis might not join us again. We might just have to get him on another day. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's looking right now that he might not be coming back.
I will tell you this. I like what Bob Kraft had to say. I really did. I'll get back to deflate-gate for a second. I think Bob Kraft stood by his quarterback and the team, and I like that he says, look, the NFL didn't do their job here. I believed in them, and they didn't. And I don't think they did. I don't think they did. The biggest argument is that he destroyed his cell phone. First of all, he's got kids. Maybe he dropped his cell phone. And I'm not a Tom Brady fan, but if you really wanted, you could pull every cell phone record possible. So if your argument was he destroyed his cell phone, which, by the way, he doesn't have to give to you. So if he doesn't have to give that or his cell phone records to you, now, I don't know what you're saying. But if you said to him, listen, we'll take all your cell phone records, right? And he said, no, then say that. But, if you don't, I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I don't understand that either.
I don't, because the thing is, like, saying he destroyed his phone, I'm trying to think of an analogy. There's no analogy out there that works for this. Saying he destroyed, you know what it's like? It's like having a stack of photocopied papers in a filing cabinet, right? And, it's like me writing you a contract on a piece of paper, and then date stamping that contract, and then photocopying it 100 times and date stamping it 100 times, sticking those in a filing cabinet, and then burning the original note, right? And then you saying, well, I need proof, and I go, I don't know, I just burned that, sorry. And taking that as the answer. Like, I don't see how they feel that they could get his cell phone any better than they can get his text, his actual phone records. And by the way, Here's the best part. The phone records keep the actual messages and stuff. Like, they would have all the messages.
Yep.
Why did he have to destroy his phone? He could have just deleted the messages.
Yeah.
Couldn't he have just deleted the messages and not destroyed his phone? The whole thing makes no sense. Like, that's your argument? That's so weak. What do you think? I live in a bubble? You're basically saying to the American people, we're the NFL and you're stupid because you're going to believe this lie we're going to tell you. Because that's what they told you. And the reporters are all buying it. Nobody has said, wait, hey, Roger, excuse me, Roger, Tony Aiello, hello, guys? Yes, yeah, New York Times. So the thing here is, I don't understand why the cell phone and it being destroyed is relevant because, number one, he could have deleted his cell phone messages before destroying the phone and it wouldn't have mattered. He wouldn't have to destroy the phone. Number two, all of those messages are kept by the telco companies and they have to be by law. So if you wanted to get them, you really wanted access to them, you could get them and you would have all the text messages. Whether he had the phone or not, he could have thrown the phone in the ocean. In fact, he could have gone to another carrier and they still have to save his text messages. And not only like the records of them, the actual messages. So please explain to me why what you're peddling is that, and somebody on Pro Football Talk brought up a great point. If you're trying to say that now you realize he obstructed justice, that's what your claim is, he deserves more games. Because now you have to tack on, oh, by the way, in our findings, he obstructed justice. So I actually like what Robert Kraft is doing. He's saying this isn't right. And I made a mistake, and I'm sorry to the Patriots, and I'm sorry to Tom Brady, and I'm sorry to the fans. Because it's not right. And now that I said all of that, Jarvis calls on. And we're going to get Jarvis on. I see that he's calling on Skype. And so we have Jarvis, I think. Hey, Jarvis. Welcome back to the program. I know you had some technical difficulties. I just went on this rant, this whole huge rant. And basically what I said, I'm going to summarize it for you. There are a couple things. First of all, what started before, and welcome back, by the way.
Thank you.
Former New England Patriot, two-time Super Bowl champion, Jarvis Green. First of all, I think that cheating is unacceptable. It's not okay. Second of all, I think that if you don't have evidence that the person cheated, you can't do anything about it. Third of all, I think if he didn't cheat, then he should be exonerated. I also think that everybody does this with the footballs. Maybe not every single team and every single player, but I've seen it firsthand. I've sat with kickers and watched them try and overinflate balls. So the thing to me is, if the NFL really wants to eradicate this and not have it be an issue, why doesn't the NFL handle the balls? I did the math. It'd be about $2 million a year for the NFL to pay for all the balls and deliver the balls and manage the balls. And that's paying full retail price, which they would never do, and they probably have a ball sponsor. Now, you could take this one step further, Jarvis. You could say that the NFL could still supply all the balls and charge the teams for them, which would leave us even, and they probably could still get a ball sponsor and make some money off of it. And
I agree.
And in addition to that, I'm going to take it one step further than that even, and I'm going to make it better. They have no evidence, and their lack of evidence shows when they say something stupid. They think the American people are stupid. They fed us lies that, in my mind, that he destroyed his phone. Who cares? There are phone records. I don't care if he destroyed his phone. And by the way, why would he destroy his phone? He could have just deleted the messages. It would have done the same thing as destroying the phone. He destroyed his phone. Maybe his kids dropped it. Maybe he was playing with his kids. Maybe he wanted a new phone. No big deal, because they still have phone records. Even if he changed carriers for 7 years, the carriers have to keep those phone records. Every single text message, every photo.
See, I don't understand when people say that, because for me, I know I just went through divorce.
Yeah.
And I can remember the lawyer, they were saying we could act for your phone records. They wanted like the last 5 years. And I'm like, guys are throwing their phones away? For what? Like you just said, for what?
Exactly. There's no point, because they have to have, the phone companies have to keep those phone records. They can go get them now. You had nothing to hide from your ex-wife, so no big deal. But why is the NFL trying to peddle that this is the reason? And by the way, if he did destroy his phone and you're saying that that's obstruction of justice, as Pro Football Talk BeTerrific.com pointed out, then you should tack on games because now you've decided that he has more of a penalty or that he has done more bad. So I think that the league is the only thing that has egg on its face here. I think that personally, this is a very minor crime. While I take cheating very seriously, if the NFL wants to step in and enforce this, then let's enforce it and let's make it so that it can't happen. And let's provide some evidence that this actually happened. The chain of custody is terrible. The fact that the guy never wrote down the inflation rates, the PSI of the balls, is ridiculous. And like I said when you weren't here, I think Tom Brady is one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm not a Tom Brady fan. I'm not a Patriots fan. I'm a football fan.
Yeah, you're a New Yorker, I understand.
I'm a New Yorker, and I'm telling you what's happening to this guy and to the Patriots is unfair. And I want to know, are you surprised by that take, Jarvis?
Am I surprised by the tape, you say?
Well, by my take. Are you surprised? Because I don't think anybody else in the media. What I said was, how come the New York Times isn't Roger, Mr. Aiello, Roger, New York Times, yes. I'd like to know why, I mean, what I just laid out, I'd like them to ask that. Why are you surprised that I'm taking this stance?
No, I'm not. No freedom of speech. I just think people just blew it up too much and was just trying to make sense of something, and it just didn't make any sense to me. I mean, like you said, other people said in the past about, I deflated the ball. We warmed the ball up. Who cares, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you play sports, and I remember like they talked about the BeTerrific back in the past, and coach said something like, well, I didn't know what I was doing was illegal or was against any rules. I was trying to find an advantage to have the best outcome that my team could win the game. You know, so, I mean, those guys get paid across the ball also.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't think it makes that much of a difference. I really don't.
It doesn't. No, let me put my lips in here. It doesn't. I agree.
And what about, do you think that Tom Brady, seriously, you've played against some great quarterbacks.
Right.
Do you think that Tom Brady is, where does he rank in your mind? Is he the best ever, one of the best ever? Is he in the top 5?
Never played against a guy in the real game, practice against a guy, so we've seen some of his worst days at practice. His worst days, because back in the day, I think, let me tell you something what Coach Belichick said a while ago, and that made me feel great and proud. You know, like now the guys are scrimmaging. Hey, come on in. Now the guys are scrimmaging hey, come say hello right quick to Mike.
Hey,
my son Terrence.
How you doing, Terrence?
Hey, I'm great. How about you?
I'm good, man. Are you having fun this summer with working with your dad?
Yeah, fun and hot and everything, but you know.
You learning a lot?
You remember Michael? You remember. Y'all never met before.
We met, yes, at the wine and cheese event.
You don't remember? He was so young.
I know. I was gonna say last time I saw you, you were probably 5 or 6. How old are you now?
Yeah.
I'm 17.
Yeah, you were 7 years old, 8 years old, tops.
Hey, Tammy, come say hello, Tammy.
How you guys doing? Are you having fun?
Hey, this is Tammy right here.
Hi, Tammy. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome.
He's in New York.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
BeTerrific. We just
you got awesome weather right now.
Same weather as you, just a little bit cooler.
Yeah, it's like a desert down here with no wind.
Oh, man.
Yes.
I see you got the bandana on.
Welding cap.
What is it?
Welding cap.
That's a welding cap?
Yeah, well, back in the day, they wear it like this. Then you got the big shield on and you're welding.
Right.
Tick welding. You heard that before?
Yeah.
You know, we do all the work down south, help the north out and everybody else.
I love how you're doing
industrial work.
You're doing it all, man. You're more than a project manager. You're getting your hands dirty.
Yeah, I'm trying.
So what was Belichick saying? Brady had bad days, yeah. And you felt very
this is
proud.
what he said. He said, like now when you see the team scrimmaging other teams, right?
Yeah.
They just started doing that, correct?
Yes. They
when I was playing, we had Vrabel, Brewski, Seymour, Roman Pfeiffer, Junior Seau, Rodney Harris, Eugene Wilson, Ashanti Samuel, all those guys, Mike Wright, Ty Warren, Vince Wilfork. He said we were so talented on both sides of the ball. He said, why would we scrimmage another team?
That's wow. That is something to be proud of, and that is a great point.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised that he would say that. But that is, I think you were, even when you're talking about the guys, when you're rattling them off and you forget because it's been some time, or at least I forget, and you start thinking about it. It's wow, that's an amazing defense. I think that you guys were some great teams. You really were. So I think you said before what you thought of the situation. I love what Robert Kraft has done or said, and I don't know if you've heard, but Robert Kraft basically came out. He apologized to the team, to Brady, and to the fans for trusting the NFL that they would do the right thing here.
Well, I missed that. I didn't see that one, but class act, Mr. Kraft, class act. He thought, I guess he assumed would have been handled better or whatever, but I mean, everybody has a position to hold, so everybody held accountable.
It's so good to have you on, Jarvis. I want to ask you one more football question, and let's talk about some shrimping. Let's talk fun. Is there any team going into training camp that you think really stands out? Maybe their roster's changed a lot. Maybe their roster hasn't changed at all. To me, I think, I'll be honest, I think that Green Bay looks really good. I think that the Patriots look really good again.
Wait, Mike, I don't cut you off.
Yeah.
I think the Houston Texans, man, defense-wise.
Okay, I could see that. I mean,
Vince Wilfork in the middle.
Yeah, that's
Clowney, J.J. Watt. I said enough. Cushion, I think he's going to have a better year. I think I said enough. Those guys right there.
And Vince is, I mean, he's not only your guy, but I mean, he's amazing.
He's going to change. I think he's going to change the defense, come out healthy, play hard. He's going to give those guys in the middle a push, but he's going to have those two monsters to come around the end. I think Clowney's going to have a breakout season. First year was just tough, a lot of injuries, and
microfracture's hard though. I mean, he's going to come back from microfracture. That's ooh.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Hopefully, you know what? I'm gonna throw some of this. He should have went and did some stem cell, man. Dr. Sertono and Schultz Clinic in Denver. Stem cell.
Maybe he did. We don't know. It's possible.
Hey, Mike, you better not edit this. What I just said. Yeah.
All right, Jarvis. But it's true. I mean, you got the stem cell stuff. It helps guys. They're going to other countries, Germany, and all sorts of other places to do it. I know guys who have gone under the cover of night, basically, to other countries to get this stuff done, and they don't tell the teams. They do it quietly so that they can heal properly. But the microfracture is hard.
It's tough. You know what? Look, when I was in Denver,
yeah,
I can talk about this now because nobody's about to give me a phone call and say I shouldn't be saying this. So when I was in Denver, I couldn't walk upstairs. I couldn't walk downstairs. When I took the plane, I couldn't sit down for 5 minutes at a time. So I made sure I got an X-row so I could extend my leg. I have this big excursion. I drove it everywhere because of my knee. I was like bone to bone. And if you saw my MRI, I took one 6 months apart. And I found this Dr. Schultz, Dr. Schultz at Sertono and Schultz Clinic in Denver. And I went to those guys, but I was in Denver, so I was scared. I didn't want the team to know what I was doing because I just thought that there was things to avoid, and I'm going against my medical practices, but it's our bodies,
Absolutely.
But it makes us feel like we were machines. And I have a heartbeat. So I went to this doc and did all the different things, the dextrose, some different ways and rehabs, but then I did the stem cell. And when I did it there, that was before they banned it. So they took it out my iliac hip crest with a biopsy needle, both sides. Ooh. He was on top of me, and it's like drilling on top of you. And every time you suck it, you get lightheaded, sucking bone marrow out in your iliac hip crest.
Oh,
but it's so. What's up?
No, I just said, ooh, that sounds.
Yeah,
brutal.
But it's so brittle though. It's brittle, so it heals pretty fast. I wore all red, caught a plane to go back out. I know. I mean, you gotta just take care of it, and it heals fast. So you're walking right after you have the little procedure. They take it, they put it into a bank, and they harvest it, and out of the bone marrow comes the white stem cells. Take the stem cells, you go back, but before that, you have to clean your body. You have to hydrate, no beer, no liquor, no ibuprofen. You can drink a little wine, eat a lot of different fruits, a lot of high alkaline, different things. So you're eating a lot of green veggies and all that. Eating good. You go back, use epidural needles. They go into the place of injury. And again, like I said, I couldn't walk up the stairs. I couldn't walk down. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't play with my kids. It was miserable.
Wow.
And I was at Denver, and I said, you know what? my first year was guaranteed. So I said I would do what I can to stay on this field. But I was miserable.
Wow.
And I did the stem cell procedure, and I gotta say, I did it. I wore these non-impact knee braces in 3 weeks. I supposed to rest for 8 weeks, but I couldn't. I did that in between off-season workouts and training camp when I was at the Broncos. So I did all that. Didn't tell the team anything. Dr. Schultz was helping me. He was there for me. I can remember we went bike in Vail. Before we had to do running. We had to run like the conditioning test at Denver. We ran two 300-yard shuttles. In between those 3-4 weeks, I ran one time. I was biking and I was swimming. All my pain, everything, I gotta say, it was a miracle. It went away just like that.
Wow.
It was gone. My range of motion was there. I made the training camp. I passed the conditioning test. I didn't miss a day of practice. Now, of course, some things were supposed to happen. I was supposed to do one a day. I was supposed to run once a day. That never happened. But I made every practice 2-1, 2-1. I got my way of life back. Like yesterday, I'm playing basketball with my kids. Like today, I'm gonna take my son. We're gonna run some stadiums today.
Wow.
So those little things that I do, I gotta say, I got my quality of life back with Dr. Schultz at the Sertano and Schultz Clinic. But stem cell, it does work. It just takes time right now, and all the history. They got to catch up on a lot of things, but it works.
Yeah, and they got to make it legal for sure. And I've heard this story countless times. Thank you for sharing it. But I've heard it from other guys, not as in detail as this, but it's so important because you guys need to be healthy. And even if you could never play football again, at least if you have a quality of life, you can play with your kids, you can walk upstairs. Stuff like that without being in pain, it seems so simple, but it's really a big thing, and people take it for granted. So
yeah,
it really is important. And well, hopefully Clowney heals well and can go play and beast there. Do you ever worry for Vince Wilfork because he's so big? I always worry for the guy. I mean, I've met him. He seems like such a nice guy. I know he's a friend of yours. But he's huge. I worry for his health.
Big guy. I mean, the biggest thing I think when guys retire is changing their lifestyle, because you don't have people feeding you anymore. You don't have the buffets. You don't have the protein drinks that call. They spoon feed us in the NFL. I mean, for us having everything we need. So that transition is really important to start losing that weight or getting healthy or maintaining good health once you retire.
Janny's watching in Finland, and he wants to know about the shrimping business. He says enough football. Houston Texans great, but let's talk about shrimping. Oceans 97 is the company. You guys are really going to be available everywhere. I know you're working hard on this, and again, this is bringing jobs to the New Orleans area, to Baton Rouge. And you're out there working hard. Hopefully we get out there and shoot a story on it. I would love to do that. But while you're in town, we're going to follow you around a little bit. You're going to be talking to some guys at Fresh Direct and some other people. It's really exciting.
Yeah, it is. Let me go to Fresh Direct. Yeah, hopefully in 2 weeks, one of the co-founders, David McIroney. Usually when I come to New York, I go stay at his place out there on Long Island. I go a little, I guess, what's that called, paddle boarding?
Yeah, paddle boarding. Are we going to get you on the
paddle
board?
And, they have a big facility out there in New York. So, but anyway, with the shrimp, though, I've been doing it for about 4 years. Learned a lot. I mean, moved around, been in a lot of the big retailers like the Super Stop and Shops and the Market Baskets and Albertsons and a few other large retailers. So I got to say, it's been fun. A lot of people, when they see me, say, "Hey, Bubba." No, I'm not Bubba. But
do you laugh at that, or do you
I do.
You do.
Yeah. It's funny, It's funny. But for me, the opportunity, man, I started doing it, and somebody came to me about, selling shrimp, and I'm like, sell shrimp in Louisiana, that's kind of hard, and I really don't. I don't want to get into that business, but it's more like he wants to go sell shrimp in the Northeast. I said, let me try it out. So I've been doing it ever since. I gotta say thank God, because I work with a local company down here, but I do with Tommy Seafood. They've been around for 30 plus years, family owned business. And also one of the accounts that they handle is the Rouse's account. So that's a huge supermarket chain down here, 44 stores, the Rouse's family, private owned, family owned. They started right in Thibodeau, where I was born at. and I work with Tommy with Rouse's down here, but we do a lot of other things outside of the state and getting Gulf shrimp into the Northeast, the Midwest, and I know we're working on some things when it comes to like international, working with Canada and also in the European Union.
That's awesome. It's really, really exciting. I love that you're so successful now. You've got NECAT as a wonderful charitable organization you're involved in, and we didn't do it this year. We have to do it next year. We did it last year, and I don't know what happened this year. But we want to do it and maybe even do it live for our audience because we do a lot live. Number one. Number two, you've got the Jarvis Green Foundation, which is a phenomenal organization. You guys do such great work. Then you've got the construction business. And you guys are working really hard. Your son is learning the business as well. And then you've got the shrimping, Oceans 97, which is just phenomenal.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, it's great, man. Cause I know, like again, even like the construction thing. I mean, I went to school for it, so I want to stay relevant. Construction engineering, but I know, I guess you meet people, and I think if you do things right in life, you know, things will come, opportunities will open up. You just have to take advantage of them when you see them.
Well, you definitely find those opportunities and take advantage of them, and I love following your career, watching you play. Thank you. I saw you play in New England and then in Denver. The last football thing, I guess, you had Eli in your grasp. That's the one. Is that the one thing that still haunts you from your football career? Or you, at this point, look back and go, I've got 2 rings. We got there 3 times. What could be better than that? Some guys don't even get 1 shot. You played. You were such a hard-working player. You were such an amazing player, and you did such a great job. Can you just rest on that, or do you sit there and go, man, does that ever haunt you?
I mean, I see it here and there all the time. I know I got friends that send me pictures because they see it in some restaurants with that play. I don't know if it was 3rd and 7 or what, but I think if that play would have happened, I would have probably had the family in Disney World. Life probably would have been a little bit different. I mean, I had opportunity. I mean, we all have opportunity as part of playing sports, and that play didn't happen, and the Giants won the Super Bowl. So you have to learn to move on, and that was the past. But I gotta say, blessed for the 2 Super Bowls that we did win as a team.
Do you think there's a good message in that, like for kids, is that maybe it's okay. You can't have it all. You can have some of it, but you can't have it all. You just got to work hard, and still you bounce back after that. You got to keep working hard, and
you know
never
what?
give up.
Yes, it's okay to fail in life. It's okay to fail in life. It's okay to fail in life. Just don't quit.
I love it. I love it. See, you got to find the positive in everything. Jarvis, one of the most positive people I know. I'm sorry that you went through a divorce, but I'm glad that you're on the other side of it. I know your kids are tremendous. I mean, your son looks great. I'm so proud of your kids and of you, and so happy for you. Please come in studio anytime, Jarvis.
Okay, thank you, Michael. Thank you very much.
And when you're in town in a couple weeks, we're going to follow you, and we really would like to schedule a trip to do the shrimping thing. I'll let you go. I know you're super busy.
Okay, definitely, Michael. Thank y'all. Be terrific.
Be terrific. Thank you, Jarvis. Be good. I'll talk to you soon. That is Jarvis Green, everybody. I mean, could you find a classier guy? This guy's just unbelievable. And he'll talk about anything, and not afraid to go into any subject. And he gave us a lot of information about his knee and the knee situations. Microfracture is like the worst thing a big guy can go through. Javidon Clowney is the good thing about him is he's tall and thin and lean, but he's still big, and so it's going to be a question mark for him. But certainly, we wish him well too. It would be exciting to see that defense if it can be as good as we think it can be, and as Jarvis said, he thinks it can be. Jarvis is what a great guy, and hopefully we'll have him in studio in a couple weeks, and then we'll chase him down on Long Island and do some other cool things with him in New Orleans. And we'll keep doing a lot more stuff. I think it was interesting. We got to see what he thought of my perspective of the case with Tom Brady, and we heard what he had to say. I think personally, enough said. We don't need to talk about that anymore. And I think we're going to have a lot of great guests for you. Greg, I see you working furiously down there. I did have one question for you while you're doing your stuff.
Shoot.
It should be this time next week. The whole setup is changed. You're kind of over there doing the show and running the control room from the control room. and we'll have more room in here, and we'll be able to add shows and stuff. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah, I mean, that's the idea. It's gonna. I think it's gonna work out really well.
Yeah,
it's
me
gonna
too.
look good.
Me too. So that's the show for today. We had Jarvis Green on, from a former New England Patriot with Oceans 97, and of course, just doing some great stuff across the board. So we'll see you tomorrow. You guys are awesome. Greg, did you have fun? I mean, you're a Patriots fan. Is there? You didn't even say a word.
I didn't. You know what it is? I was just soaking it in, man.
Yeah.
Because he's doing so well for himself, even beyond his football career. It's like the things he's doing is just great.
It's so true. I mean, I wish you could have seen this guy working so hard during his career for his post-career. You know? My mother's call. Why don't you pick that up? Pick it up. See what she has to say. She's going to call every day now. This is going to be her shtick.
I guess so.
Yeah. I was going to wrap up the show, and now she's calling. Did she pick? Are you picking up on her? Oh, now we're calling her? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, we'll get her back. I cut her off quick because I figured.
Yeah,
we were going off.
I didn't want her, but I saw that. Oh,
Thank
we
you
got a
for
voicemail.
calling. I'm not available.
I love that Jenny's watching on Periscope, and he likes the Periscope. I think, does he like it better than watching like the multi-cameras? Probably. I think people are going to be like, yeah, we don't need multi-cameras. We're just good with a single camera.
You know what? I think if the camera on the iPad had a wider shot to it,
Yeah.
it would be a little bit better. Because as it is right now, there's like you and half a chair.
Well, we got to put it in the Padcaster and do the whole thing or something. We'll figure it all out. We'll get it working.
We'll do it.
Yeah.
It'll work.
All right. I'm glad that we didn't have my mother on again.
Yeah, they turn into
Hour-long
interactions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see if she was like calling for something. Like, it's so weird that she's calling the Skype, which is the studio line. I want to give that out, by the way. 201-654-6607. 201-654-6607. That is our phone number in the studio. You guys can call too. You can be callers. So call in. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Be terrific.